you've ever been to a freshwater lake or any body of water near your home, you might just be relaxing on the beach or something, but then you might walk along and see a plant growing in the water. And if you're an aquarium nerd, you might be like, can I put that in my aquarium? Will it do anything to the fish? Will it be carrying parasites? Should I clean it? Should I sterilize it? What should I do about this plant? And so today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to collect wild aquarium plants and use them effectively in your aquarium. And if anybody's curious, the lake we're filming at today is Priest Lake in Idaho. But you can really do this in any body of water. So the first plant we're dealing with appears to be a mayaca. And this is a smaller plant, so what you can do, if the plant isn't a large plant, you can just get your hands underneath it and then pull up the whole root structure and the plant. You can pull that out of the substrate and then just divide the individual stems into a portion and then remove all the excess sand that you don't need. You can just put that right back into the lake. And then what you want to do is just get your little bunch of stems and then just wash it off in the water just to get any loose debris. You can do this same method with any plant. Just make sure that it's a baby plant and don't do this with a larger plant. I will show you how to deal with a larger plant later. Then if you can just get a small bin, just fill it with a little bit of lake water and just let your stems float. These stems right here would be fine just floating in this water for upwards of 2 weeks. I've done it before and they're totally fine. Just make sure that it's in the shade, not in direct sunlight, and always test the water with your hand. Just make sure it doesn't warm up too much, and if the water warms up rapidly, take some water out, put some cooler lake water in. To make sure to keep the temperature stable, and you can leave your plants in this bucket for probably upwards of 2 weeks, and that should be definitely long enough to keep it before you have to leave. I definitely recommend doing this maybe the day before you go back home, just in case, if you are on a vacation, just in case the plants have any issues, and then transport that back home. I will show you that later in the video. Alright, with all the fun aside, I found a plant that I wanted. I believe this is peacock's feather, and then proceeded to break the plant at the stem and about the middle of the plant so that I could keep the plant growing but still get a substantial part. Oh yeah, and sorry about the shots. It's filming underwater is really hard, okay? And so now that you have your plants in your bin right down there, you might be wondering, what steps do I need to take from here to be able to safely put them in my tank? So if you're really cautious, you can do a bleach dip. There's tons of videos out there. Oh my gosh, my hair. But there's tons of videos out there. Some top ones that I like are by Girl Talks Fish. You can check those out. I will link one of those in the description. I personally don't do that. You can use that to get rid of pest, snails, algae, pretty much anything other than the plants that are on the plants. but I'm not going to do that because I've never had issues with it in the past. Of course, famous last words, and that could cause an issue. But for now, I think I'm okay. I'll do a hydrogen peroxide dip, which is really easy. I just put some hydrogen peroxide in a cup, just dip the leaves of the plants in the hydrogen peroxide, and then pull it out. Rinse it in water. You can do that easily. I've done that before. It helps kill green hair algae, stuff like that. But I wouldn't even. There's a flamingo back there. I wouldn't even do that. It's not really super necessary unless you're in a very contaminated or known to be dirty body of water. But the lake here is pretty clean, and you can think of it as a giant fish tank. You're basically moving stuff from a giant fish tank to your fish tank. Of course, there are outside forces interacting with this fish tank because it's so big. But I mean, it's fine. So typically it should be fine, but you can take precautions, and if you have the means to do it, I would recommend it. And so now that we have that all taken care of, I'm going to show you guys how I actually plant them in my tank. I'm going to fast forward about a week, and then I'll show you how I install them and what differences I make between store-bought plants and wild collected plants to make sure that they're as safe as possible going into my tank and less likely to melt. Alright, so now that you're at the point where you've got your plants in your bucket and you are ready to take them home, try and find yourself a gallon-size Ziploc bag, and that's really all you need. Just you can use the same water in here, and I'll show you exactly what to do to keep your plants safe while you're taking them home. Alright, so I apologize for this angle. It's probably very hard for you guys to see, but what I want you to do is just take your Ziploc, put it in the water, and just get some of that water in there. Just about, I'd say, that much water. That should be plenty for 2 days of your plants being in the bag. And then it's just as simple as removing your plants as carefully as you can from the water and transferring them into your bag. Just keep doing this, just making sure that the plants are carefully put in this. And don't be tempted to overfill the bag with water. They'll be fine if they don't have too much water as long as they're moist. But try and get as much of the plants covered as you can when you're doing this method. And the nice thing to see is sometimes you'll be able to see some new growth on your plants even after they've just been sitting in a bag or a bucket like this. And you can see that there's still a little tiny bit of the plants out of water here. And just for safety, because these are not your most grown plants like the ones you get from online or from a store, I'm just gonna add some more water, and just that simply we have a bag of plants right here. So then make sure to seal it up as tightly as possible. You do not need to worry about putting oxygen in the bag or anything like that, because the plants are going to be fine for the time being. In fact, a lot of actually online retailers will almost vacuum seal the plants in here, so no issues with that. And I would put this in the trunk of a vehicle, if you can, inside a small cooler. So if you can get a cooler like this one right here, get a cooler, something like this, just set this down, and you can put your bag of plants in here. You put them down, and make sure this doesn't get in direct heat by like a vent or something. Try and keep this as cool as possible. This will be a-okay inside a cooler like this for a very long time. So you can just carry this along with you, and by the time you get home, your plants will still be healthy enough to install in your tank. Alright, now that you've got your plants home, I have mine in a bucket. Just find your tank that you want to put them in. I'm going to be putting these in my plant storage area, and then just simply grab them with a pair of planting tweezers and stick them right into the substrate. It's really as simple as that. You do it like any standard aquarium plant you'd buy from a store. Like that, as you guys can probably see, we got this maybe Mayaka, and here we got that plant down there. We got some of that parrot's feather or milfoil down there. Can't really tell which one it is. All that in here. I'm really excited about these. We'll just get them going well in here. They actually had some new growth just in the bag right there, so I'm pretty sure confident these will grow okay. I'll keep them in this grow out tank for a little while until they mature and are adjusted to my water. Then I'll move them into their own tank. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Maybe it'll help you guys out sometime if you ever are at a lake and you feel like collecting some plants, hopefully this will help you guys out. Thanks for watching this video. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.